Welcome to the NFL on EA Sports. Fasten your seatbelts for one of the great divisional rivalries in the NFL. This is the first of 2 games between these teams this year, and you know it's...
Okay, Larry, thank you. We are just off I-95 at the home of the Eagles, Lincoln Financial Field on the south side of Philadelphia. Tonight, we finish off Week 4 with a good Monday night matchup between the Dallas Cowboys and the Philadelphia Eagles. So now here comes the Eagles offense as they get ready to take over. They'll be brought out by their QB, the former number 10 overall pick in the draft from Texas Tech, Patrick Mahomes.
Well, his ratio was good last week. Most quarterbacks are really excited about a 3-to-1 ratio, but it's flipped in the wrong direction. He threw 3 interceptions, not touchdown passes, and he only had the 1 TD pass in that game, so he's trying to turn...
And a big loss here as he's taken down. David Irving able to get in and run him down for a loss of 14.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
Now Mahomes throwing on second down. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that is caught one-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. A big play there for Philly. 49 yards.
Tell the truth, partner. You didn't think he was coming down with that one, did you? Come on, tell me the truth.
No, I didn't. I'll tell you what, though. A one-handed grab of that length. Talk about giving your team a little juice.
Oh, big time. I mean, everyone's going to be excited about that one, whether you're on the field or not. It permeates its way through the entire team, and I can't wait to see what they do on the next down.
Defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
All right, here we go. Green, 39. Green.
Here's Blunt. A strong broken tackle on that one. And then they get him to the ground just shy of the 15. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
That run right there was an offensive line coach's dream, wasn't it? Guys picked up all their assignments, created a nice gap for the running back to get through, pick up 7 yards. Yeah, he's probably chortling on the headset right now saying, we got it going, boys. Let's keep it going.
9 yards on the play there, and it sets him up 1st and goal.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me. And he'll score! Touchdown, Eagles! Patrick Mahomes, his first touchdown on the year. And the Eagles drive right down the field and score on the opening drive. And they do exactly what they wanted to. Opening drive, they get into the end zone. They do it on the ground.
And not only is the person lugging the ball happy, of course, because he got it into the end zone. How about the offensive linemen and receivers who are blocking for him? They have to feel great about themselves, sticking it in the end zone on a running play.
No going for 2. They'll kick the point after. He's got it, and the Eagles lead at 7-zip. 5 plays there on that drive. And in the end, it's capped off by a 7-yard run. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Cowboys now ready to go on offense for the first time. They'll be led out by Dak Prescott, the 135th pick of the draft back in 2016 from Mississippi State.
And it's funny how we always talk about how analytics are starting to creep into the game. One analytic that's been there for a long time, teams that start 0-3 usually don't make the playoffs. So we know one quarterback today was determined to end that slide right now. It's not impossible, but this is a must-win for him and his team.
And the reception made by Dante Moncrief. And he's brought down, but not before getting across midfield to the 45. Now the offense lining up 1st and 10. Here's the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott, and he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43. Dez Bryant, certainly one of the go-to guys, if not the go-to guy for this offensive unit.
One of the most talked about players in the league, as well as one of the most productive receivers. He attacks the football downfield.
See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. Out of the gun, here's Prescott. Going right side, he has Witten. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now gives a much better opportunity to convert on them.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Brandon Graham able to get him down behind the line of scrimmage, and it'll be 4th down.
But every now and then you just absolutely outguess yourself. 3rd and inches, and they decide not to run the ball. You end up seeing the end result.
The end result was not good. They elect to pass, and it backfires. A little bit of a lower trajectory there on the deep kick, and it worked.
Had to do it because he had to drive it out low because of the length of the kick. Able to do that, got it above the defense and over the post.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The Eagles offense now gets set to head back onto the field. They had the touchdown on the opening drive of the ball game. It was countered by just a field goal. So, hey, if you guys can do that for 4 quarters, you're in good shape.
Yeah, it is a team game, so that's just good complimentary football. But, you know, I know I'm no brainiac, but you trade 6s for 3s, things are going to work out in your favor.
Boy, that's a lot of sirloin steak to be taken down for no gain, partner.
Are you trying to suggest that he is a huge man?
He is
not just a big man, a huge man.
Big boy.
Well, how about the credit then for the defense to be able to chop that big tree and put him on the ground?
I know back when you played, it took 4 of you to take a guy like that down, right?
Well, that's for sure. And then you know what else?
Back live with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the Eagles with the ball here to begin quarter number 2. And they've got it here with a 1st down. Looking to throw is Mahomes. And going deep for Hill. And this is caught. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Tyreek Hill, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Eagles add on to their lead. They went empty backfield, all their weapons out wide, so there really was no secret here to what they were going to do.
No secret, but they still had to execute it, and they still had to protect the guy throwing the ball because oftentimes when you empty the backfield, people bring pressure at you. They managed to hold in there and successfully complete the touchdown pass.
Extra point attempt to follow here. And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And it was capped off by an Eagles touchdown. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. On 2nd down, Elliott. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Here's Elliott. He's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
Well, partner, I have to say they called him in the right defense there. Nickel set, fifth defensive back on the field, and they love to run against that because now you typically get a bigger blocker on a smaller defender.
Yeah, because those DBs like you, they want the interception. They're not as worried about the running play, right?
Not at all. And I still remember being in school, and one of my offensive line teammates used to say, boy, I love to come downfield and hit you little people.
Good run there. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It'll be a 5-yard pickup there, so from 2nd and 13, they're back to a more manageable 3rd and 8.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. Was that 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive, and like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We'll come back to Philadelphia after this. We're just 2 minutes away from sending you to Orlando for Larry Ridley in our EA Sports Halftime Report, so don't forget about that coming up shortly.
Yeah, it wouldn't be a halftime without him, and we thank him for doing the highlights. Let's go get a snack.
From the red zone now, Prescott. He's going to take a shot for the end zone. So they took a shot on first down, but couldn't connect.
Tremendous field position there and a perfect time to do exactly what they did. Take a shot at the end zone. And they went for the big play, just unable to complete it.
A 2nd down throw for Prescott. And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away, but could not. He didn't get rid of the football there, took the sack, although that's easier said than done. He can't just chuck the thing sideways into the seats.
No, he really can't because you're not afforded total protection as a quarterback. You have to get outside of the tackle boxes as defined by the NFL, meaning wherever your tackles operate normally, get outside of that, and the ball that you throw has to get back to at least the line of scrimmage. Otherwise, you face an intentional grounding call.
And Bailey able to knock it through. And a second field goal here cuts their deficit to 14-6 now. So the drive stalls out, but they are able to put 3 points on the board.
Yeah, just a yard or two shorter than an extra point, so no problems converting there.
This one taken just inside the 10. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Tyreek Hill making his way back out towards the huddle. He's up over 100 yards, has the touchdown. He's a big-time receiver in this league, so the question becomes, how do you limit him going forward?
Well, you know the guys trying to cover him. They haven't had...
It's caught inside the 25. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. So we're back in the offense getting set following the call of that timeout. Operating from the red zone now, Mahomes. Open man right side is Smith-Schuster, complete. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as they get it right at the 30-second mark of this first half. Five yards to go for the offense. First down and goal from that 5-yard line.
All right, here we go.
Mahomes going to throw. Flush to his right. Hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Well, Brandon, we see why it's a team game there, because there's a sigh of relief that they just released defensively. If he's able to get that one away, that's likely a touchdown. But instead, that pressure from the front got to him and forced the incompletion.
You're right. He had him open. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by the linebacker, Sean Lee. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
The give is to Elliott. And he'll be taken down here at about the 23-yard line. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
All right, Brandon, back to you and Charles in a bit. But first, let's get you caught up on all the highlights from the first half. The Eagles are up right now and are looking to keep up the pressure moving forward. The Cowboys just want to come out after the half and claw their way back into the game. All right, let's take a look at some of the highlights from the first half. Eagles open up on offense. Hill's the target on the quick pass, and he'll be tackled at the 41-yard line. Sticking with the same drive. Run play coming up here, and he'll end up sprinting into the end zone as they take a 7-0 lead. Now 1st and 10, Prescott's able to squeeze the pass in here, and he'll end up at the 45-yard line before being tackled. Later on the drive, they'd stall out and settle for a field goal. 1st and 10, the long ball will find its mark here, and a quick 3-play drive ends with a score.
All right, folks, eager to get back to this Week 4 matchup. We won't put up a fight. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out come the Cowboys now as they'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that.
Ezekiel Elliott gonna take it the distance. Touchdown, Cowboys. Ezekiel Elliott, his first touchdown on the year. And now the Cowboys are within a 2-point conversion of tying up the game. Well, they had their chances in the first half, you remember, but had to settle for 2 field goals. This time they come away with 6.
I think they actually got affirmation about what they were doing by getting a touchdown because the field goals means they got in range but couldn't quite finish it off. This time, they broke through, and that's great for the old confidence.
And on the sideline, difference of a feeling between 3 and 6, is it astronomical or no?
It can be at times, that's for sure. A lot of times the field goal feels like a disappointment. The touchdown, well, that tells you you're getting it done.
They start on the ground here with Blunt. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. Eluding the pressure right. Going underneath to Blunt. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. And 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a first down with a nice throw.
And that is incomplete.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. 10 yards still left on 2nd down. Now Blunt. And he'll only get a yard, maybe 2, up to the 46. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You foresee incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or 2 because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
here's Mahomes. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
And going deep for Hill. And this is going to be incomplete. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And Dallas, they'll take over in terrific field position. So, Charles, talk about a play that could prove pivotal, and I mean pivotal. That decision right there could be really costly.
Without a doubt, you talk about taking a chance there and deciding you're going to go all in, as they like to say. That's exactly what that one was, and it didn't pay off.
Yeah, inside their own territory, game tied this stage of the contest. Boy, 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking. But the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Again, it's Elliott. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1. They'll try and run for it with Elliott. And he's going to take this one down to about the 23-yard line. Give him a yard on the play, and he's definitely short. It'll be 4th down and a few inches.
They tried their best to pick up that 3rd and 1, but their surge wasn't enough to counteract what came back at them from the defensive side, was it?
Offensive line, especially in the middle, looked like they were on skates a little bit when that one started.
So now we bring up 4th and inches. This will be a critical call.
Personal foul, roughing the kicker. Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
After the penalty, it's Elliott. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. 1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. All square, 14 apiece to score as we get ready for the 4th quarter. A handoff left, Elliott. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
But that certainly felt like an example of the defense just saying, okay, we've had enough. We've gotten mashed all night long. About time we got a good play in. But flip it over to the offensive side. They've got to be really upset that they allowed a play like that to happen. They were pitching such a great game. They want to keep it going.
And this is caught for a Cowboy touchdown. Dante Moncrief, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Cowboys have taken the lead.
Well, we've seen some lead changes, and it certainly appeared that one of these squads was in full control of the game, but that's not the case after that touchdown.
Yeah, they erase a 2 TD deficit here to grab the lead. So the drive there took 6 plays, and it culminates in a Dallas touchdown. That's fielded in the end zone. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. The Eagles offense back out onto the field. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team.
Yeah, we'll see if they can recoup and recover. Mahomes now to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Hill. And he's brought down after a good gain. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Well, there's your leading receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage, putting on another clinic, well over 100 yards.
Are we taking notes? We should be, right? Because I'm going to go back and watch this tape and really enjoy what I'm seeing. The route running, competing for the football, just breaking down it.
And that's going to be caught for an Eagles touchdown. Alshon Jeffrey, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Eagles are within an extra point of tying this thing up.
Yes, it was a touchdown, and not just a TD, but how about a long touchdown that puts them in a great position now.
And now just an extra point away from tying this thing. And now a critical extra point attempt here. And no sweat, he puts it through, and we are tied here in the fourth. Set to go now with the kickoff. These two teams all even again as we continue in this wild fourth quarter. Here comes Ryan Switzer to return it. And he is knocked down from the side at the 33. The offense for the Cowboys now working their way back onto the field. A great Monday night to wrap up the week in football. Two division rivals and a great finish ahead as we come up on 1st and 10. Prescott now. Throw left side complete. That's Elliott. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. Tie game here. Time starting to run down. The defense really needs to try and keep this game tied, see if they can get the ball back for the offense. Play action now. Prescott. And this one caught by Dez Bryant. And he is leveled. Knocked down hard. Looks to be right around the 40. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Now a handoff here to his running back. And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. Time for a break. We'll come back and see how it all shakes out after this. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Second down and a little ways to go here. 2nd and 13. Prescott from the gun. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Dez Bryant, the intended receiver. And that'll make it 3rd down. He was unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
Encroachment, defense.
A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down. They're making steady progress, but I see your face. You're worried about that clock.
I'm worried about the clock, and at some point, you have to have a splash play in there as well.
And Bailey able to knock it through. And with a little over a minute to play, they have taken the lead. Now then, it's a big kick right there to give them the lead in the 4th. But, Charles, there is still time left for a final drive.
Brandon, you know they would have liked to take the clock down just a little bit further, at least under a minute or so. But this one's not over yet, especially since they just need a field goal.
And out and out come the Eagles. Some pretty good games all weekend. We may have saved the best for last. This Monday night game has been a dandy. They're only in need of a field goal, a decent amount of time. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as they'll get it with just a shade under a minute to go in the game. He's back to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And they went for a big play through the air on second down. Couldn't connect. Now it's third. Tried to go for the big one there on second down. Now they're likely down to their final 2 plays.
And you know they've got to keep going for the big shot, right? So defensively, you play what they call top down. Nothing behind you. Make everything get completed in front.
He's going to let it fly. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does. And in the second quarter, he may very well run by him. But in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
Now a desperation throw deep down. It got his man complete. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as the clock will stop with 35 seconds left to go. They'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. So they took a shot on first down but couldn't connect.
There was definitely contact there, but it's the fourth quarter of a kind of tight game, and sometimes the officials just say, let them play. Kind of like your mom used to with you and your brothers. Just take the broom to you and send you out to the backyard and tell you to settle it yourselves.
I like that. Yeah, there was contact. I don't know, like you said, enough to warrant the flag. It was close, though. And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on, third down.
I remember a coach telling me a long time ago the difference between playing corner and safety in the NFL. Corner is like the Autobahn. Everybody just flying by, and these corners have been really busy in this game, although they got it done on the last play.
On the last play, yes, but there have been some good numbers put up against them offensively. And that one incomplete. Had some position, but couldn't hold on, and it brings up fourth down. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and it would appear the Cowboys are going to win this football game. So a tough pill to swallow there. A would-be touchdown pass in and out of his hands on fourth.
Sometimes it just comes down to execution, doesn't it? Because we're always questioning, should they go for it, should they not? Is it the right play call, is it not? In this situation, everything was right except for the finish. You have to catch the ball and convert.
A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted, no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for Dallas, it took a few weeks, but they finally get their first one of the season here in Week 4. And they'll get another road date next week, as their opponents will be the Washington Redskins.